Good afternoon, good afternoon. I hope you are good. Everyone else that's going to be joining on my Facebook Live video, my name is Jen the Blessed, and welcome to my Facebook Live. After such a long time, I haven't been doing live videos regarding relocation. So yeah, I'm trying to be back. Should I say I'm back? Not really, not sure. Not sure yet, actually. So yes, we are back to our English videos, and I'd like to welcome everyone on my platform, on my page, everyone that follows me, to say thank you so much for following me. I greatly appreciate. We are growing, and we thank God for that. And welcome. It's good to be back. It's good to be on Facebook on a Monday. Yes, yes, yes. I'm still officially on maternity leave. Maternity leave is not over, but yes, I'm trying to come back slowly but surely. So today I'm going to be talking about relocation. I felt like I need to talk about relocation so that we understand exactly. I know a lot of people, everyone wants to relocate. Everyone wants to relocate, especially with our economic environment in Africa, with our economic environment in our country. When I say our country, I mean people from Zimbabwe, though I've got people from Nigeria, people from Botswana, people from Malawi, most African countries that follow me, that consult with me. Hi everyone, how are you? Let me do some shout outs before I go further. Vongai Mutare, Lokadia Madombwe, Masia Matangira, Leah Sibanda, Beatrice Chenai, Violet Chidotera, Africa Tato, Linda Zora, Lizzie Matt, Koma Richie, my brother, how are you? Venencia Matongo, Tendai Nyakanda, Memory Tatenda Gurira, okay. Dadirai Matanga, how are you? How are you guys? So I'm just going to talk. First of all, let me say, many people may wonder, who is Jean the Blessed? What's happening, Jean the Blessed? What's the vibe with this woman? What does she do and how does she help people? So let me say, yes, my name is Jean the Blessed. I'm so blessed by God, and I feel I'm the most blessed by God. Yeah, I would love to call myself that. Because the word of God says he tattooed my name on his palm. That's so special. So yeah, that's Jean the Blessed. Thank you so much, Masiwa Matangira, for the stars, and everyone that sends stars on my page. I greatly appreciate. Thank you so much. So guys, in terms of relocation, I've gained experience. To start with, I started last year with the challenges of Zimbabweans in South Africa. So I started looking for opportunities for myself, and then my husband says he doesn't want us to relocate. As a woman like me, I always tell people I love my husband, I love my family. I understood his reasons. He explained to me his reasons of why we can't relocate out of Africa, even though I want to relocate. Even up to today, guys, I want to relocate. I want to relocate not because of me. I'm thankful to God, I'm okay, but I want to relocate for my kids because I see what's happening in Africa. They will struggle to find employment like we did. They will struggle, they will face so many challenges, but we pray by God's grace, they will be fine. But that's the main reason why I really wanted to relocate. Like I always tell you here, I don't lie to you, I tell you the truth, but I fully respect my husband's decisions and his views regarding relocation, okay, which I'm also going to tell you as we go further. And so I started, because of that, I had researched so much and I found out so much information and for where we can live, why we should live there, what are the advantages, the benefits, blah, 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 blah. And I found so many ways which we could use to relocate. And I started seeing so many Zimbabweans having challenges here in South Africa because of paperwork, blah, blah, blah. And that's how we started. And I found ways and started speaking to people. Many people started coming to my inbox, okay? So many people started coming to my inbox. Jean, tell us about this. And then I started helping people, okay? So when I started, it was for free because I wasn't so sure and I was like, trial and error. And I realized it's working. It's like, oh, wow. And then now it started consuming me. I started having a lot of requests in my inbox of people who wanted to speak to me, wanted to consult with me regarding what I was talking about on Facebook. Then I was like, wow, this is now draining me. It's taking my time. Remember, I also have got a job, not only one, but I've got 2 jobs and businesses to run. So it became too much. And I was like, no, man, I can actually do this and help people, but I cannot do it for free. So how am I going to do it? Then I said, I'm going to charge my hourly rate, because we discussed with my manager, like everyone else. Yes, it's my Facebook page, but I do have a manager that manages me. Having someone else that manages you even help you to manage your businesses. It structures things. It helps you in terms of strategic planning. It helps instead of strategic thinking. So there is someone else that manages, that controls how your page is run, things like that. That's why you see I don't post many things on my page, because I need approval from my manager, even though it's my page. Why? It helps me to focus and to be strategically focused on my goals and what I want to achieve with my page. So because of that, he says, no, Jean, if you put your price very low, because to be honest with you, my price, I wanted to charge 500 rands. Then my manager is like, Jean, with the demand that you are having right now, imagine if you charge 500 rands, you're not going to be able, you're going to be booked a year in advance or 2 years in advance. It's not going to work. I'm like, okay, fine. What about 1,000 rands? Then we looked into other factors and stuff. Then we decided on our 1,800 per hour rate. And with that, after discussing that, I was like, okay, still people are still coming. Like really, I'm booked in advance. People are still coming with that high amount. So that means it's nothing, okay? So we started working and the numbers started going up. Like the people that I was helping started going up. And my manager is like, you see, Gina, this is what I was telling you. Imagine if you had gone down. How are you going to cope? So the actual matter of the fact is indeed this thing works and it's really helping a lot of people. Unfortunately, I cannot give anyone a guarantee of how this works and stuff. But I'm not talking about that mainly today. But I want you to understand where it came from and where we are and how we are doing it. So it really works. So I realize the major challenge people have, they just want to go, but they don't understand why they are going. They know they need a better living conditions. They need better money. They want more money. They want to develop and stuff. It's all about financial returns. But psychologically, emotionally, and physically, people don't understand how consuming it is in terms of relocation or the challenges that are faced before you relocate, okay? So those are some of the things I want you to know and to understand. Before you make the decision that I want to relocate, you need to know that and you need to understand that. So in terms of relocation, like I'm telling you, a lot of people really want to relocate. And I feel for you, especially for people that are in South Africa. I'm in your shoes. I fully understand. We don't know what's happening in June. We don't know what's going to happen. But the minister is adamant that if you don't fix your paperwork, definitely it's not going to be good for you. Living in South Africa is going to be horrible for you. Already they are tightening things in terms of education for kids. Like right now here in the Western Cape province, we are applying to enroll kids or to transfer kids or to enroll for grade 1 high school for kids here. If you don't have a permit, it's very difficult. I know a lot of people, they do kia, you know what I mean when I say kia. They do kia kuti vana vakwanise kuwana nzvimbo dzechikoro, but it's very, very challenging if you don't have paperwork. And now they're going to move into our banking, they're going to move into our businesses. They are closing all major ways that you can make a living here legally in South Africa or in South Africa without paperwork. So that's another reason why many people are pushing to relocate. And thank God for the grace. The God's grace has been sufficient to us, especially Africans. UK opened and UK is still open. Australia is taking drivers. Canada is taking drivers and caregivers. Okay. I did a video for caregivers for Canada. It's not caregivers for taking care of the sick people and stuff. Caregivers for Canada is for helpers. Yes. Caregivers is for helpers. Let me not read in comment section. I was reading Bullet's comment. It's for helpers. Okay. So we are still getting opportunities, and more new opportunities are coming. Like I tell you, in terms of research and in terms of my experience and my expertise, I'm actually getting more opportunities which we are using and which are working. Okay. The challenge now is I really want to share. I really want to tell you. But now if I tell you, it's going to flood within a day. Okay. So the challenge in terms of relocation and opportunities is you release a relocation opportunity on public, like here. Within 3 hours, it's flooded. What have we done? Nothing. Okay. So if I say something here for everyone, it's going to flood. We know everyone wants to go. Everyone wants to relocate. It's going to flood. And when it's flood, it benefits nobody. So for me, what I've been doing from last year, I try, which is very difficult, to restrict my information, give the few that I work with, so that they can maximize on that opportunity and move. Okay? That's why we are on to the nearest right now 100 families, because of that minimization and restriction of information, which feels so unfair to the public. But guys, you know, when the information is public, it's gonna flood and none of us get the opportunity. I'll give you so many examples. I'll start with how it started. I'll start with America. We all know Visa Solutions. Visa Solutions was helping a lot of Africans leave Africa, especially from Africa, South Africa, Zimbabwe, leave Africa to go to America. And what happened? The information, when it was restricted, I've got a lot of people that entered America as truck drivers with permanent residence when the information was restricted. But the moment the information was flooded, the moment the information, everyone is aware that America is recruiting truck drivers. You go with permanent residence, you stay in a hotel, you get paid. Your wife, they used to take your wife, your children that are below 18 years, they will pay for their flights, they will stay in a hotel. It was very nice. It was a very good opportunity because it was for few people. The information was still not public. A lot of us entered America. A lot of people entered America. When I say us, I mean like people from Zimbabwe entered America through using that route. It was a very good opportunity. You land in America, whether you land in Houston, whether you land at JFE, wherever, which airport you land, you were getting your permanent residence. You were staying in a hotel for 2-3 months. Was there sorting your stuff for 1 month? Your wife, your children were staying in a hotel. It was beautiful. And then information flooded. So by the time majority of people know about the opportunity, it flooded. There is Masiwa Matangira, the one who gave me stars just now. Thank you so much, my darling. She also entered America using Visa Solutions. Glory be to Jesus. You are one of the people testifying today. So some Zimbabweans, not a lot, entered America using Visa Solutions. And there were other companies also that they were using that opportunity to take people. I spoke to one of the people, one of the bosses for Visa Solutions in America. And he was very honest with me. I still have his contact number on my WhatsApp. He says, Jean, I appreciate what you're trying to do for your people. But let me tell you something, Jean. I don't want to hear about Zimbabweans. I say, why? He says, Jean, I don't want to hear about Zimbabweans. We took a lot of Zimbabweans to come to America. We were paying for everything for them, and the days that I spoke to him, they were still taking, but they were now charging. They wanted you to pay something like $2,000 as deposit when you sign your contract. And you get your $2,000 at the end of your contract. And I was asking him, why are you charging now? You were doing a good thing for free. He says, Jean, I took a lot of Zimbabweans. And when they came here, I had costs involved. I was paying for their flight. I was paying for their accommodation. I was paying for all their expenses upon arrival in America until I start paying them. I was taking care of that. So I had to incorporate those costs into what I was paying them. So they were not paying them what they were supposed to pay, okay? For example, they were supposed to earn like 3,500 USD a week, okay? 3,500 USD a week in America as a truck driver. But him, because of the expenses he was incurring, accommodation in a hotel, flight, food and stuff, he would pay them something like 1,800, I think 1.5 or what per week, or 2,000. And the Zimbabweans, being Zimbabweans, we are very smart people, or people from Africa. We are very smart people. What did we do? After signing the contract, they ran away. Because remember, these people were getting their permanent residence upon arrival. They ran away from him. And remember, he was the guy that was taking everyone from South Africa, everyone from Zimbabwe, with permanent residence, staying in accommodation, blah, 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 blah. So that's what stopped that opportunity. And also the other thing that made it worse, COVID came. COVID came in 2020 and it affected and delayed a lot of visa applications and a lot of visa processing. Some people actually missed the opportunity because of COVID. But thank God, the main thing that this thing was stopped was we were running away upon landing in America. That's example number one. Example number two, cruise ships. We all know what's happening to cruise ships. Thank you so much, Masiwa Mtangira. It's true. We were getting $1,000 instead of 3,500 atisati tatiza yedu per week, which is still a lot of money for a truck driver that is coming from Africa. Thank you so much, Masiwa Mtangira. It's people like you that keeps the flag of Africa high. You know, it's people like you that vanomira nema contracts are honest people. But majority, they ran away. Because they see, oh, in America I can make a lot of money. But you forgot opportunities. This is the same challenges we are facing again with the cruise ship. Okay, that's example number two I'm giving you. Why I restrict information. With the cruise ship, cruise ship were taking, I'm telling you, during COVID, they sent a charter flight from Zimbabwe. Charter flight. That's how much cruise ships loved Zimbabweans. They sent a charter flight all the way from America to Zimbabwe to carry cruise ship, people that work in the cruise ship, Zimbabweans, from Zimbabwe to America with a charter flight, you know, like a private person. You understand? Like a rich person. That's how much we were loved. And look at it right now. Look at it right now. Right now, many cruise ships, I'm telling you, I told you I worked in the industry for 13 years. I worked in the oil and gas industry for 13 years. I understand and I've got connections. I know a lot of people in cruise ships, in HR. Guess what? They told me last year I did a video and I was telling you, guys, if you do not change, a lot of restrictions are coming upon Zimbabweans. Because they were telling me, Jenny, right now we prefer people from Botswana. They're not like Zimbabweans. Zimbabweans, they enter America, you know, without being guided. They run away. The moment they enter in America, they run away. They run away and they go and apply they go to Canada and apply for refugee status in Canada. But they entered America via a cruise ship visa. So that's another challenge again. When we create opportunity or when we bring opportunities to you, say, guys, here's an opportunity for you to go to work. I begged people last year, Zimbabweans, when we started this cruise ship, when I started doing cruise ship videos last year, I was begging, when you get the opportunity, use it. Remember, yes, you got the visa. You can run away. But think about the people back home. Look the situation in our country. Look the situation in Africa. If you run away, you are disadvantaging a lot of young Zimbabweans who still need that opportunity. And look what's happening now. It's a 50-50 chance. Yes, cruise ships are still taking. But you know, most cruise ships that were recruiting Zimbabweans, that have got a high number of Zimbabweans who ran away. Yes, most cruise ship people run away. It's an obvious thing, but for the highest number, it's Zimbabweans and other nationalities as well. It affects the other people. I'll give you a third one. A third one is caregivers. A third example, caregivers. UK opened an opportunity for caregivers. And yes, there were Zimbabweans who got licenses that we were supposed to use to enter UK. Yes, those Zimbabweans were charging exorbitant prices. They were charging exorbitant amounts up to 100,000, 90,000 rands. I speak rands because I'm in South Africa. 100,000 rands. But it was an opportunity. Okay? It was an opportunity. The challenging thing is, us as Zimbabweans, when you get an opportunity, yes, I want to maximize on it. I want to use it. I want to charge. But they were charging exorbitant prices, which was a pain, you know, to pay those COS fees. And we know the story. People like Olinda, they lose their licenses. There was a lot of drama that took place in UK. And guess what? We do not have, even if we do have Zimbabweans that are still recruiting for UK, they are still charging. Right now, they don't call it SOCOS fees. They call it administration fees. If you want to go to UK, they're still charging and you still have to pay. Even though it was for free, but because it was a Zimbabwean thing, they had to pay. Guys, it wasn't Zimbabweans that were paying alone. Nigerians were paying, Ethiopians were paying, people from Filipinos were paying. Everyone was paying. Everyone was paying. And guess what, for us Zimbabweans, takatsindira zvakare misime yemushwa. Because a lot of us who were using our Zimbabwean agents, those that had licenses, Takava reporter, and you know the whole story, they lost their licenses. Example is Olinda Chapel. Again, we are Zimbabweans. We do what we do best, and we destroy and block our opportunities. I'll give you the most painful opportunity that hates me up to now, that still hates me. Island. I'll talk about Island without fear. I spoke about Island once, 1,000 caregivers last year. And in January, they were supposed to issue in January. And guess what happened by November? People in Ireland that own agencies in Ireland, they started recruiting and they realized, oh, the number can be provided locally. Because remember, they were outsourcing from other countries or continents because they did not have people locally. And our African people in Ireland, those with the papers in Ireland, they started becoming agents, including one Zimbabwean. Okay? I heard this story with a friend and a relative in Ireland. Said, Jenny, that one Zimbabwean was the only one who could bring people to Ireland. And guess what? That Zimbabwean guy only brought his first team, 15 Zimbabweans from Africa. Yes, he was charging. Because he can't use his time and resources for free. He was charging, and also for his profit or whatever. He was charging. He was charging something like, I don't know, 15,000 rands, I think, to enter, to help you process paperwork with his documents to enter Ireland. And 15 Zimbabweans entered with that guy. And guess what? They entered, and they knew before they leave Africa. You are not supposed to pay to be helped to be in Ireland. Guess what they did? They reported the Zimbabwean guy. We are so good at toying with the people that help us, even if they charge us. Because if you don't have money to pay, that does not mean all Zimbabweans don't have money to pay. Some people are willing to sell their cars to find opportunities abroad for their children. Some people are willing to sell their cows to find opportunities to help their children. It's not about the money I'm losing now. It's about the opportunities for the future, for my generation and my children. So people are willing to pay to go to Ireland. They were willing to pay. So many people came to me and said, Jean, if you know that person, I'm willing to pay. So many people were willing to pay to go to Ireland. And that Zimbabwean guy wasn't charging a lot. Let me tell you, right now, people are entering Ireland as caregivers. Only us here in Africa is difficult for us to enter. Not Africa, Zimbabweans. It's difficult for us to enter. Nigerians are entering flocking Ireland right now. Kenyans are flocking Ireland right now. Why? They did not sell out their own. There is a Nigerian guy that is charging 22,000 euros. I'm talking of 22,000 euros to enter Ireland. And the Nigerians are paying and they're entering. And guess what? They're not selling their own. And they're still entering. Kenyans are paying and they're still entering. Do you know how much is 22,000 euros? That's almost 500,000 rand. 500,000 rand for one person. They are paying and they're entering. You have the money, they pay. They use their relatives, I don't know whatever agreements they do. They pay and they enter for their future. But as Zimbabweans, why? Takatsindira musima weshkwa again. Ireland was now January. Now January. We blocked. We hate each other so much. We become so jealous with an idea that is not yours. We become so jealous because if you know or if you can do it, you will do it. And you still want people to pay. You still want people to pay you, even though it's too much. Even in our country, before the e-passports came, we used to pay to get in line of the line. We used to enter. We used to pay kuenda pamberi pe line. Rekuwa na passport. We used to pay for anwaimukira kunomira makio. We know that in our country you were paying for everything. Up to now, some people are still paying for a lot of things. Kupinda mkiu, kudi. Just as no badaro. But let it be a Zimbabwean abroad. Olinda right now has a license. Yes, she was charging. But why can't we let I wish if you do not have the money to pay, allow the people with, don't block it for people who have got the money to play, or don't pay and then yet later report someone, or start calling someone a thief, or start defaming someone's character. You know what you are doing when you are paying the money. I'm telling you people, right now, Nigerians are entering Ireland. Right now, Kenyans are entering Ireland. Right now, other nationalities are entering Ireland. The only country I know from Africa, mainly us who needs to go to Ireland, that are not entering, is us. Is us. Is us Zimbabweans. And we really, really wanted to enter Ireland. But, blocked. Yet there are still opportunities, eh? Yes, I can tell you. People are entering, Zimbabweans are entering Ireland. I've consulted with the people that are in Ireland right now. But you need to have qualifications. You need to have degrees. You need to have certifications. Good certifications. Ireland is open and Ireland is recruiting. But you must be qualified. But how many of us have got critical skills that are needed in Ireland? How many of us are electricians? How many of us are engineers? How many of us, Ireland is taking engineers, Ireland is taking doctors, Ireland is taking business people that started businesses, Ireland is taking people with masters, Ireland is taking right now, I've got 2 Zimbabweans that I consulted with that are going to Ireland. Me. Ireland is taking South Africans. A lot of South Africans right now are moving to Ireland. Zimbabweans. Why? We blocked, and he was in charge. From the figure that I had, I don't even know that person, but my relative knows him in Ireland. He wasn't charging that much. Right now, I've got a lot of Zimbabweans who are agents in Ireland, who are recruiting caregivers in Ireland. I spoke to them. I'm telling you now, they own companies in Ireland, Zimbabweans. I speak to them daily. They said, Jean, anyone from Zimbabwe? No, I don't want to lose my license. They don't want. They say, Gina, we rather take Zambians. We rather take Kenyans. If we charge them, they won't sell us out. Not Zimbabweans. Those are 4 opportunities that I've told you. What happens when information is public to a Zimbabwean? A Zimbabwean will know this person is charging money. You knew Olinda was charging. Olinda never made it a secret. She said it publicly. Olinda, Carol, those were the 2 that I know that started offering COS. We knew they were charging. We knew. And we would go to them. Yes, I'm not supporting them. I'm not defending them. Because if they took money and they did not fulfill the deal, that's something else. You don't take someone's money and don't play your part. You take someone's money, you play what you pay, you do what you promised to do. But if you don't do that, that's something else. But all I'm trying to say is, I'm just letting you know, guys, that when information is public to us as Zimbabweans, to us as Africans, we flood it, we abuse the opportunities, and at the end of the day, we block opportunities for the rest of us who wants to relocate to Africa. So that's the reason why I work with subscription page. That's the reason why I work with consultation. I prefer, it's better to help 500 people, 200 people. I don't mind if in 3 years' time I've helped only 500 families. That's something. Right now, let me tell you something. I'm so happy and I'm so proud to have helped close to 100 families. It's an achievement. It's an achievement. My friend that works for a big immigration company here in South Africa, he was telling me that, Jean, what you have done, our company struggles to beat that record. They can't. They can't. Why? They let people go. They don't keep in touch with them. They don't create opportunities. They don't use the links that they have used to help others to go. So you can't beat that. But for me, it has been working because I was using my experience. I was using my people that are going to help me source, and I'm still using them. All the caregivers that left with me, they know. Every week I check up on them. Is your company recruiting? Is your company recruiting? Tell me what's happening. What's happening? Those in Australia, they know. Ginny follows up. Is your company taking? Those drivers, they know. Ginny follows up. Hey, brother, tell me. Is your company taking? Can I allow 2 people? So if I see this link is working, I give it to 2 more Zimbabweans so that they can enter. If I see this link is working for caregivers, I give it to 2 more people. And let me tell you what happens as well. Some people, even if you give them links that others are using, even others that are behind them, you have given the same link, some people, it just doesn't work for them. Why? I don't know. I don't know. Not everything is for everyone. That's what I get to understand now. Not everything works for everyone. For others, it works. For others, it doesn't work. But it's not my responsibility, or am I to blame? I don't know. Because I can give you the link that I gave someone that left last week. Someone who used it, you get responded and get an offer. Someone who used it and not get an offer. It's beyond me. So what am I telling you? And the other thing many people doesn't understand. The other thing, people when they come for consultation with me, I'm realizing there are some Zimbabweans that are living good here in South Africa, but they just want to relocate for their own reasons, for the future of their children and stuff. So they come for consultation. So the other thing that I do with consultation, we do what we call an expense breakdown. We look at your expenses if you're already doing it or living well here in Africa. You have got everything, you've got a good job and stuff. We look at expense breakdown. We look at your salary abroad. How much are you going to earn abroad and how much are you earning here? And that's another reason many people ask, Jean, why are you still in Africa? I looked at that as well. I analyzed myself. I consulted with myself and my husband. And we realized if we go to Europe, for example, if we go to a country that, like the one that I got, like normally I get like headhunted for euros. I'll say that it's in euros. If I go for euros, yes, it's a lot of money that they're offering me compared to what I'm getting here in Africa. But if I look at my expenses when I'm in Europe, my expenses become more compared to my expenses here in Africa. So the salary I'm getting in Europe and the salary I'm currently getting here in Africa, in Europe, the salary is more. Here in Africa, the salary is more. But my expenses when I'm in Europe with the children, they become more expensive because it's expensive compared to when I'm in Africa. So that's what I also do with the people. We analyze your expense and see how much will you get when you get to the UK. That's another thing that many caregivers are facing. And I would love to state it here. When they get to the UK, because here in South Africa, maybe we're getting, let's say 10,000 rands. 10,000 rands. You go to the UK, okay? You go to the UK, you need about 1,000, for a two-bed, you need about 1,800 to 700 pounds, a two-bedroom apartment, okay? And you look here in South Africa, you don't use that much. So you look at your salary as a caregiver, let's say you earn 1.5 pounds a month, and then you deduct 800 pounds for accommodation. You are left with 700 pounds. 700 pounds, you've got gas, you've got taxes, council taxes, you've got fuel, you've got this and that. Other expenses that you have. Maybe that's another 500 pounds. You are left with 200 pounds. So that means you are relocating for 200 pounds. And that's another thing I bring to people for awareness. Okay, we look at your reasons for relocating. Some people's reasons for relocating is for kids. Okay, then good to go, you can go. Because some people are leaving businesses here and relocating abroad. But some people here, they are leaving good jobs. Even as a nanny, you might be earning a lot here in Africa than when you go to the UK after deducting your expenses. Okay, so when we consult, we look at that. How much are you getting here? How much are you going to get when you go to the UK as a caregiver, or when you go to Canada, or when you go to Australia? I calculate for you and I tell you your expenses, roughly your estimated expenses. And many people, they realize they will only be saving maybe 200, they'll be saving 200 Australian dollars. They'll be saving 300 Australian dollars, 300 Canadian dollars, 200 Canadian dollars. But when you see the figure whilst you're here in Africa, it's a lot. But when you factor your expenses, it becomes nothing. So I want you, my family, to understand that abroad, their cost of living can be higher than here in Africa. Yes, food is cheaper that side, but they've got other expenses that are more expensive than here in Africa. For example, rent, for example, gas, for example, taxes. Here, many of you are not paying taxes. And they are not that much compared to when you go to UK. You have to pay them. Okay? There are other things in UK that are cheaper, like cars. Here it's expensive. But if you factor in your expenses here in Africa and both sides, this side, you will realize you will save 200 pounds. And the other thing you need to consider for relocation is kids. Okay? If you have got younger kids, that's something else. You know, in terms of relocation knowledge and experience and expertise, we say the best kids to go with abroad, they should be above 5 years or 8 years to be on the safe side. Okay, and when you factor in kids, also factor in Europe, developed countries, they consider sleeping arrangement. It's not like here in Africa whereby you say your daughter or son, they can share the same room. No, it's different. They don't want a girl and a boy to use the same room. Okay, neither do they want you to sleep in the same one-bedroom apartment with your kids. It's not allowed because it's developed countries. You need to factor in those facts. So if you have got 4 kids or 3 kids, 2 boys and 1 girl, just know that that girl will need her own room and the 2 boys can share the room. It's not like you're going to say, oh, my 3 kids are going to share the room. The other one is going to sleep in the lounge. It doesn't work like that. You need to factor in things like that. That's why many people are saying, why would someone take a two-bedroom house when she has got 1 daughter? It's Europe, my dear. Europe is different from Africa. They consider things like that. Food is cheap, yes. UK food is cheap. Everywhere, Europe food is cheap. But there are other costs that you need to consider. The taxes are a killer. Hey? And you can't run away from them. There is no way to say, don't deduct my tax. No. There's no way you say, don't pay my tax. You have to pay your tax. Whereas here in Africa, you can run away from it. So it's things like that we discuss during consultation. That's why I say it's an hour long. So we've got the first section, your personal life, your qualifications, your family, your expertise, and then we go to application, your expenses. There is a lot of sections that I cover during my consultation. We look at that. And many people, they realize after consultation, CC Jean, it's not worth it. Yeah, I'm being honest with you. Many people, they realize it's not worth it. Because if you've got 3 children and it's you that's going to work, you are a single mother, you want to go with all your children, my dear, you are going to work for expenses in UK. Yes, there is job, there is work, but you'll be working for expenses because your children and you are going to have more expenses. That's why you see couples, they survive better compared to single parents who have got children in the UK. Why? You help each other with expenses. At least if one parent's expense is a tax, if one parent's salary covers the expenses for the month, rent, taxes and stuff, the other parent's salary can be used for saving. You don't understand why people in the UK, it's difficult for them to send you money. It's because of taxes. They've got expenses. They've got living expenses. And those people, they work very hard. Yes, opportunities to work are there. And a lot of people are working. And also, yes, David B, you are right. You need to consider childcare. You can't leave your kids alone in the UK. Neither can you leave your child that is below 18 years to watch over other kids. You can't do that. Your children will be taken. You can see all that's happening to Jean Gasho. Not saying Jean Gasho, she left her kids alone. That's another issue. But I'm trying to say social services in the UK is on the high. Is on the high. So you need to look, to put into consideration things like that. You can go to the UK, yes. But if you are alone and with the children, that's why it's better for others to leave children home. Then you go and work without having more expenses than when you have a lot of expenses. So those are some of the things we look into. I check your children's ages. I ask you, do you want to go with your children? We look at all that. I'm telling you, I've got a family that I helped to move to the UK. Their rent alone in the UK, I won't tell you the city, but I can tell you the city doesn't matter. They are paying £1,600 per month accommodation. Okay, £1,600 per month. And that is my mother in the UK. She said, Jean, food has gone expensive. It's not like a year ago. Yeah, because of all these fuel issues and stuff, food has gone up as well in the UK. So she told me, Sissy Jean, I'm paying £1,600 per month accommodation. £1,600 per month accommodation is equal to 40,000 rands per month in South Africa. Accommodation. Yes, it's a 4-bedroom house. Why? She has got 3 children, her husband and herself. Luckily, there are people, those are some of the people who do not relocate for money. They are relocating for future. Okay, so they've got businesses here in South Africa, okay, and they are relocating. Yes, a lot of people are using this caregiver visa so that they just move to Europe, but they've got money here in Africa, in South Africa, before they moved to Europe. So they can afford to pay £1,600, which is 40,000 rands per month to get a 4-bedroom apartment or a 3-bedroom apartment. Theirs is a 4-bed, but that's the range for a 3-bed and a 4-bed, 40,000 rands. They need 1,000 pounds food per month. Food, excluding taxes. So bills are expensive in the UK, in Europe, not UK only, in Europe. It takes all your money. And that's one of the reasons why people like me and my family are not relocating. I'm being honest with you. I'm being honest with you. If I've got a family like that, I will need a 4-bedroom, 3-bedroom. 3-bedroom is the minimum I can take for my family because I've got kids, different sexes. So there is no way I can take 2-bedroom apartment. It's not enough. I need a 3 to 4-bedroom house in Europe. I checked in Italy or somewhere there, that range. It's the same range. It's in euros, 1,600 euros, 1,800 euros. And that's 40,000 rands per month. So it does not make logical sense for me to leave my house in South Africa and go pay rent, 40,000 rands in UK or in Europe. You understand? That's a lot of money, which I can make use of here. Yes, I'll be getting more, but I looked at how much I'll be getting. I looked at my taxes in Europe. I looked at my taxes in the UK. My expenses per month were getting into 120,000 rands. In rands, I use rand because I'm in Africa. So for me, my family to relocate to UK without having a helper, my expenses, our taxes were getting to 120,000 rands per month. Our expenses, including food and everything. So for us, it's not worth it to go spend 120,000 per month, which when we are here in Africa, we save a lot. And you can hear David be saying, Anna go to look after the kids. They are charging 900 pounds per month, babysitting per month. And I've got a small baby. That's why we calculated that we worked with 1,250 pounds per month for our baby. So we look that many people don't understand why some people are still in Africa. Why can't you move to UK? Why can't you move to the UK? It's a lot. For some of us, it becomes expensive, which means I'm just going there to work. And that means I'm not going to be spending a lot of time with my children. For me to be able to make 120,000 for my expenses, I had to work double. I had to increase my hours. I had to care, which means I wasn't going to spend the time with my children. So when you consider that, quality time with your family, quality time with your children, so that I can pay 120,000 rands. That's what I needed. And that wasn't luxury life. That was basic, guys. That's basic expenses for a normal family when I put them into rands. That's not a luxurious life. And that's not paying your bond. That's renting. So those are some of the reasons why some of us are still here. But my husband tells me, like, there is no way we are going to Europe to pay such amount. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. It's not worth it. So that many people ask, hey, Jenny, you're helping people to move. Why are you still here? It's because of that. It just does not add up. And I cannot leave my children. My mother is getting old. My mother now has got high blood pressure. And I'm that parent that doesn't want to give my children to anyone. My mother-in-law also. Why should I burden them? They are done with their children. So for us, that's the reason why we are still in Africa. And I'm talking about this so that you guys must do research. Do your own research. If you come to me for consultation, I'll do it for you. I'll calculate for you. Some people are earning less than 10,000 rands, but trust me, you are actually saving more. Some people are earning less than 10,000 rands. You are managing to build houses in Zimbabwe. There are people in the UK that are struggling to build houses, okay? They wait to get a loan. They get a loan so that they can build back home. But here in Africa, you guys are caring. You are surviving here in Africa, but you are managing to build in Zimbabwe. You are building beautiful houses in Zimbabwe with those Madume salaries. So I want you, so I want you to consider that. Yes, there are benefits for single parents. Best Achisho, I fully understand. But first of all, you need to consider that there are benefits for single parents, people that are single. Yes. There are things, but before they relocate, people must understand those are things to consider, whether it's Australia, whether it's Canada, whether it's what. But for people with big children, it's okay. You know, your children can stay alone, but you also need to factor in the expenses that we discussed about. Also, you must be very energetic. You must be brothers Rob. Yes, you are right. He's saying munoswera kubasa 12 hours shift. Munodzoka kubasa vana varara. You need to consider that. You will not have much time with your family. You will not have much time with your children. That's the physical part. So I spoke about the costly part of relocation. I spoke about the physical part. You must be willing to put in more hours. You must be willing to work more than you are doing here in Africa. Here in Africa, we say, oh, we are tired on a Friday after working 8 hours. You must be willing to work more than 8 hours to make it. If you are not willing to put more than 8 hours, my dear, you won't save. So if you want to save and do big things abroad, you must be willing to do more hours. You must consider your children's ages as well. Like I told you, babe, the aunties that the daycare moms, not big care schools. I'm talking about daycare moms anagogo vanochengeta vana ku UK. They start charging from £900 to £1,250. And also you should know benefits for single parents, they depend on the visa that you are on. Not all visas qualify for benefits. And remember, the caregiver is like a critical skills visa. Okay, so you must be considerate. You must be considerate of those things I'm talking about. Okay, Masio Matengra says we are working 14 hours, 2 jobs here. This is America. No time to rest. That's the only way you do it, my dear sis. That's the only way you do it. That's another thing. Some are lucky they get good people to look after, but some talk too much. Some are losing their memories. Some are abusive because of their health conditions. Those are some of the things that you consider. Yeah, sometimes. Personally, guys, I'm not going to lie to you. If you can sort your paperwork out here in South Africa, please do. Please do sort your paperwork out. If you can relocate, relocate. But your benefits, maybe your long-term goals must outweigh, you know, whatever your expenses and other things. But you should consider that. And it's not a 1, 2, 3 thing relocation, okay? Especially when it comes to me. It's not A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. No. It doesn't work like that. So I want you to know before you come for consultation. For other people, I give them a link. In 3 days' time, they get a job. Once you have an offer, many people ask, Sisi Jean, do you help with the visa? Where do I come in? I don't get involved. But let me tell you the beautiful thing about it. Once you get your offer from your company, once you get an offer, it's A, B, C, D to get a visa. Because once you have an offer of employment, like for Australia, Canada, UK, it's easy to get a visa. It's not difficult. You just get, yes, if you need guidance, which you get on the website, the requirements of the documents you need to carry for your visa. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's easy. The most difficult thing for relocation is to get the offer letter. Some people, they get their offer letter in 3 days. Some people, they get their offer letter in 3 weeks. Some people, they get their offer letter in 3 months. Some people, they get their offer letter after 6 months. Some people 1 year. Some people 2 years. Some people 3 years. Okay, and there are also the other thing that I'm realizing also, I will say this here, for people that I consult with, another challenge which I cannot help you is interview. Especially for truck drivers and everyone else actually. Interview is a huge challenge for us, I would say people from Africa. We've got a challenge in terms of interview. We've got a challenge. Okay, before we even go to interview, the biggest challenge is checking emails. Some people, they are getting their offer letters a month later. They apply, check emails after 3 days. There is no response. They forgot to check their emails. Many of us do not have a habit of checking their emails. My dear family, when you want to relocate or when you are in the business of moving or relocating, and you are applying online, you need to check your emails twice a day. I've got someone who applied today and she got a response. They wanted an interview the following day. Imagine if she did not check her emails. She was going to miss out that interview. And let me tell you something about the companies abroad. When they call you for an interview, you don't show up. You can write an email, you can call them shedding tears of blood. They will not consider you because their time is very precious. So many people are missing it. Interview, checking their emails. Sissy Jeannie, look, I got an offer, but I only checked my email now. They sent it a month ago. Is it my fault? No. The other thing I told you, time. People get confused. I tell people, when you come for consulting with me, I tell you, choose 2 countries. Out of the 2 countries, you don't apply the 2 countries the same time. That's the mistake many of you are doing. You are applying for 5, 10 countries, 7 countries at one go. You get confused. Why? When it times for interview, you don't know, is this Europe? Is this Canada? Is this America? Is this island? You don't know the time. Now you don't know which employer is it. So this is the challenge. Many people are missing their interviews. If I show you my WhatsApp of the people I've consulted with, majority of them, Sissy Jean, I missed this, the devil. I missed the interview. Sissy Jean, I got confused. They say 10 a.m. I said in the consultation, I told you, when you apply, right, this is Australia, this is Australia, this is Australia. Do Australia first, then you do Canada. Don't do them all at once. That's the other challenge, but it's beyond me. I cannot babysit you. I cannot be with you 24/7. I can't do that. I've got life. I have to work. I have to work. So you have to be alert. You need to be prepared and ready mentally when it comes to relocation. You need to be on top of your games in terms of emails. You need to be on top of your games in terms of online application, because most companies right now, they are using online application whereby you have to feed their system with your information, and their system creates a CV. Like for cruise ship, you need to feed the system with your information so that their system creates what we call an online CV for you. That means you must be good at typing, because it's you that is applying. You need to feed their system with your information. So your computers, I've been begging people from last year, January. My family, go learn computers. My family, go learn computers. You need to have the knowledge of computers. You need to apply. I can give you the link, I can tell you what to do, but I cannot apply for you. It's time consuming. Even I've got people who offer me 10,000 rands to apply for them. I will not accept 10,000 rands because it's time consuming. It's not worth it. I can make 10,000 rands with my time than online application. It's consuming. That's another thing when you think of relocation. If you are someone that is lazy to apply, you cannot go anywhere. There is no feja. Yes, there are other methods of relocating, but those methods are not safe. Because you pump out money to people you don't know, just waiting on fate on the date they tell you that you are leaving, but your money is gone. There is no guarantee that they are going to fulfill. So I'm afraid to share those things with you. Yes, my followers are using them. And they say, Sissy Jeannie, share. I can't. Because it involves money, a lot of money. Opportunities that involves a lot of people's money that needs to be paid are dangerous to share publicly. Tomorrow they'll give you names. They'll give you titles when their money is gone. Yet they knew what they were doing. So many people are doing that, but why taking the risk? Why taking the risk of doing things that you don't know is going to be successful or not successful? Yes, there are some people that are risk takers. But be alert. We have got Sikanoma. She's got an internet cafe here in Cape Town. You can speak to her. She can teach you computers. You can go to any internet cafe, discuss with them, negotiate a rate so that you can pay. There is nothing for mahala. Tell them, teach me how to apply online. Teach me how to use the computer. Teach me how to apply. Teach me how to search for jobs. Teach me how to load information like cruise ship jobs. You need to load your information on their system so that it creates an online CV for you. Without completing that online application, you don't get a job. That's cruise ship. So it's exhausting. Relocation is exhausting. It's time consuming. Your mind must be ready. You must be willing to pump your money out for CVs, consultations, other things that involve money, visas, medicals, etc. Also, the other thing, even qualified people that come for consultation with me, some of them, I have to advise them to do other certifications, because I cannot lie to you that you've got everything. Not everyone has got everything. You must be prepared to further your education. Yes. You come for my consultation, you must be ready to hear that. I'll tell you, my brother, there is the course. Go to this school, upgrade your certification, do this, do a trade course. There are some things that needs to be done so that you can qualify before you do your international CV. Even for truck drivers, there are some things you need to do, forklift, blah, blah, blah. Hair scam, what. You need to have certain things before you start applying. So, yeah. Many people don't understand there is a lot that happens with consultation. There is a lot, because I'll be analyzing, checking you, what works for you, not for everybody, which I cannot do here when I do a public video. I can't, it's impossible. So my family, just know that relocation is not A, B, C, D. And right now for caregivers, yes, I'm going to come with another opportunity for you. But you must be willing to apply. You must be willing to do 1, 2, 3 so that you fit in. You must be willing to sort your CV. You must be willing to update your qualifications or do something on your qualification so that you stand a chance in that country. Yes, just because you've done. Let me tell you something. Do you know in UK they don't know Chilton? They don't know Chilton. In UK they don't know Allison. In UK they know St. John's and Red Cross. St. John's and Red Cross are the two reputable schools that are known there. Some of all these schools we are doing, they don't know them. Chilton, what, all these other names. They don't know them. They know St. John's, they know Red Cross. So those are some of the things. Just like in Ireland, they know QQI level 5. But others are entering with the qualifications from Africa. The grace is different, okay? There are other countries that are taking, even though they did not openly say, we have been working with other countries. Oh yes, Pardon, you're right. Pardon is one of the people that does CVs here. They don't know that one. Primimundo, they don't know that one. I told you they know Red Cross and St. John's. Those are the schools they know, okay? Not saying that your qualifications don't work. They do work. But I'm saying they don't know them. So mostly when you get there, they'll also do some courses with you if your employer takes you. They do like refresher courses or they do other courses so that you get certificates when you land in the UK. Okay, let me talk about this point again. Thank you so much, Pardon. The other thing is, all the links are not the same. Each link is different. So if I give you a link, the other links can work, we can have an email address. The other link can be online application. The other links, so each company, each link is different. Do not assume that all the links that I give you are the same. They are completely different. They've got different requirements. Whilst you are on that, the other thing, even if they're truck driver's job, if you have got one CV, your CV does not work for Australia. The CV for Australia as a truck driver is not the same CV for America. It's not the same CV for Canada. That's why we encourage you to do a CV for each country. Yes. That's why I negotiated with the CV makers on this page so that you can do more than one CV. Okay? Because each country has got a CV. So you can use your CV for caregiving for UK and use it to apply in Ireland and use the same CV to apply in Netherlands. Use the same, it doesn't work like that. That's another mistake you are doing. One CV, all the jobs. And you do not have time to edit your CV. Because remember, each job is different. You must look at the job description. Those are some of the things that we touch when you do consultation. I look into that and I teach you that. Okay, so you need to be aware of that. And majority of people don't know how to apply. I'm sorry to tell you that. Majority of people don't know how to apply. Majority of people have got CVs which are upside down. I laugh when I see some of the CVs like, God have mercy. God have mercy. Even if it was me, the recruiter, I will not take you. And some people, when they apply, Jesus, it's something else. So that's another thing. People throw CVs. They just say, please find attach my CV. Please find attach my CV. My name is, I'm a good caregiver. It doesn't work like that. You need to be professional. Your CV is you on paper. When they look at me, when they look at my CV, they must see this smart, intelligent woman. How do I send stars? Thank you so much, Rufaro. There should be a stars button here in comment section. On the buttons below on your page, you should see the stars button. Yes, please send some stars. Your CV is you on paper. When you write an email, especially for caregivers, there is peanut butter there. Peanut butter, dovi. Kuzora dovi cheko nana. Dovi no nakaro but nengeraka zorwa pa email. So those are some of the things you are not considered. Some of the things is how you attach documents. Many people don't know how to attach documents. It's just my CV in Word. Some people, they attach their CV in Word. They attach their passport in JPEG. Who opens a JPEG? Most systems, they don't. So those are some of the things you learn again. I teach you when you do consulting. It's a lot of work many people don't understand. After a consultation with a person, I get so drained. I'll be very, very tired. It's a lot. I wish I can teach everyone, but it takes time. And each person is different. That's the thing. Each person is different. Each person is completely different. Your CVs are different. Your experience are different. Your references. Some have got 3 Gmail references. Now, for UK as a caregiver, with your Gmail references, my sister, whom do you think will take you? Nobody. With your CV, with your passport in JPEG, you don't submit all documents. You don't attach everything. That is impossible. That's the challenge many of you are facing. That's the challenge many of you cannot stand on the international recruitment. On subscribers page, I once gave them a link which can select your CV, see how your CV can stand out, compete on international markets. You can see your CV rating. You can see how it stands out compared to other people from other countries and other nationalities. How your CV stands out. There are systems like that nowadays to check your CV. So family, in terms of relocation, it takes a lot of work. In terms of relocation, it takes a lot of your time. In terms of relocation, you need, that's another thing, pardon, is talking about professional email addresses. Simple and professional. Not nange kumba kwedano naka. Dini 9873. Some people have got personal email addresses with cell phone numbers. My dear. In this era, it must be your name, no nicknames for your work, for your email that you use to apply. No nicknames. Put your name, jeantheblessed@gmail.com. jeantheblessed@yahoo.co.uk. Pardongombe@gmail.com. You need things like that to be looked at. Those are some of the things. Some have got cell phone numbers at gmail.com. Who considers you? What's wrong, boy? Okay, let me out. Okay, family. My kids are back from school. I have to go now. I love you very much. I will be coming and I'm going to continuously talk about this. But please understand that. And also to everyone that is here, please note, I do have impersonators. No slang, no nicknames on your emails, on your applications, no shortcuts when you're writing emails. When you're on my page, guys, I'm having an impersonator, someone that is trying to copy me. using my name, Jean the Blessed, please know my profile page. Know that my page has got a lot of followers compared to these impersonators. There are people that are trying to steal your money using my name. Please be alert. I'm saying this. Be alert. This is my page, nowhere else. They are stealing my videos, and please report them. They are stealing my videos. They are stealing my stuff and pretending to be me. But check the number of followers those pages have. That will tell you it's not me. Even if they steal my profile picture, guys, be alert out there. Be alert out there. I have to go, guys. I'll see you again maybe tomorrow, same time in the afternoon, but just be alert. I'm going to be coming with other links. As you know, I work with a subscription page. I put my links in subscription page, and if you come for consultation, I give you links that are yours directly to your WhatsApp number, because you'll be having my WhatsApp number. And with that, guys, I love you so much. I'm going to be back again with another opportunity. Subscribers, they know about it. Some are already working on it. We are applying. Like I said, I don't flood my information, such as that I don't flood opportunities for Zimbabweans, okay, and Africans. I try to maximize them by helping the people that are willing to work with me. And guys, I love you so much. I have to love you and leave you. If you need to watch much of my videos, go to YouTube. My YouTube, especially for truck drivers, all the opportunities I've spoken about, they are still working, okay? You can go watch the videos on YouTube, because here I post a lot of stuff. So to go find the videos, they are down. But if you go to my YouTube, it's easy. The name is Jean the Blessed on YouTube. Subscribe and click the notification button, so that if I post something, you will immediately get it. All my videos, I try to upload them on YouTube again. I love you guys. God bless you. I'll see you again tomorrow with another opportunity on how we can relocate. God bless you.